Testing, testing. All right, my mic is working. Welcome to the J2C channel, my crypto army. This video today is going to be for a lot of people that are new to cryptocurrency. I want to try to keep this fresh because the definition a year ago for cryptocurrency may not be the definition next year for cryptocurrency. And I have a lot of family members, I have a lot of friends, I have a lot of followers who are still a little bit confused about what cryptocurrency is. So this video is going to dedicate to them today. So cryptocurrency is a digital or virtual currency that is secured by cryptography, which makes it nearly impossible to counterfeit or double spend. So what does that mean? So cryptocurrency is all online, right? There's no physical cryptocurrency. And the cryptography is an encryption. It scrambles the data, so you can't ever possibly hack cryptocurrency, not with our current technology. It would take you a very long time, and at that point, by the time you finally, maybe in 100 years, decrypted one account, it may not even be useful anymore, right? So that is one of the biggest benefits of cryptocurrency, and people love that. Not only that, but it's anonymous, and it's also, it prevents double spending, right? One of the biggest problems a bank has is when you use a credit card transaction and then you go quickly to another store and use another transaction. How does that bank know to not double spend the same dollar, right? So if you only have $5 in your account and you go to Walmart, you see these great Walmart discounts that we're always talking about in this channel, and you buy something for $5, then you quickly run over to another store. Let's say Walmart has another shop in Walmart, and you go there and you buy another food, and you only have $5, but you just spent it on a t-shirt, and you go to this restaurant to buy $5 worth of food. How does the bank know not to double spend your money? Because they're not very fast. It could take some time, and banks do make mistakes, and cryptocurrency solves that problem. So it's impossible to double spend on the same amount of money, right? And if this ever were to occur, cryptocurrency as a whole would fail. So that's something very important. So why is crypto so trusted? A cryptocurrency public ledger is a record-keeping system. The ledger maintains participants' identities anonymously, their respective cryptocurrency balances, and records of all the genuine transactions executed between network participants. So what does that mean? So when a cryptocurrency transaction occurs, there's a public ledger, right? And these public ledgers are all kept up to date, and they're automated, so there's no person doing this. It's all calculated by computers, and it's all public. Now, your name and your information and your money isn't disclosed, but transactions that you make will be disclosed, and this is used to maintain the correct number of cryptocurrency, right? So in cryptocurrency, you don't have to purchase a whole coin, right? If Bitcoin is worth, let's say $100,000, you don't have to come out of pocket with $100,000 to buy one cryptocurrency. You can buy a fraction. Let's say you only have $5,000. You can buy a fraction of Bitcoin, and same with most cryptocurrencies. You can buy a fraction of them. And so there's a public ledger. It's pretty much maintained by me, you, businesses that dedicate to maintain this public ledger. And so they keep an updated record. All these computers keep an updated record of everything that happens. And so I'll get into that more in a little bit, but I just want you to know what a public ledger is. Normally banks are in charge of doing this. But we have to rely on the bank. We don't see these public ledgers. We don't know what transactions are all happening in the background. Cryptocurrency, we can see everything except your name, the quantity, who you are. We just see the transactions that are being made. All right, but we'll get more into how they maintain this ledger in a little bit and why people would choose to actively support the system, right? But first, I want to talk about the different type of cryptocurrencies, right? So there's decentralized currency to facilitate payment. Bitcoin is regarded as the first one, right? So what is it? It's technically money, but it's digital money. It's kept online, and there's a certain amount of it. And so as cryptocurrency gets bought, the circulating supply becomes less and less, hence increasing the price, right? In Bitcoin, there's only 21 million Bitcoin. There would never be any more Bitcoin ever produced. And why is that better than our current system? Right now, our government is spending like crazy. Every time that they go and need more money, all they do is go to the printing machines, print more. So the more of something you have, the less valuable it becomes. Hence why Bitcoin was able to to spike up from nothing, from pennies to its all-time highs above $60,000 per coin. And you will never see an increase in the number of Bitcoin available, and that's the biggest difference between regular currency and a bank that just keeps on printing. They have no concern about the repercussions of printing too much money, and we're seeing that in today with inflation. The value of your dollar is going down, so when you go to the store, it's costing you more and more of your hard-earned money to buy the simple things. That's decentralized currency just for payments. Bitcoin really has no other purpose other than to hold value. There's utility tokens. They serve a purpose other than to simply facilitate payment, but they still can facilitate a payment, but they usually serve some other purpose. So for example, there's an HBAR coin. It can be payment form, but also hold data. They can be used to keep records securely. So imagine taking the current system for health records, that, let's say you go to a hospital, their computer system has your records, but you're going to go to another hospital, and now you have to go back to the first hospital, get your information, go to the second hospital, submit it, and they have to wait for them to process their information, right? Now imagine if this was done with cryptocurrency, where your currency is kept online on these records, and all you have to do is you have to go on the HBAR network and pull your information. The fees are a fraction of a penny, so they're very cheap to maintain. Then there's XLM, one of my favorite all-time cryptocurrencies. Now, what is XLM? XLM is a cross-border payment system, and they are the preferred cryptocurrency for cross-border payment in the U.S. government and other governments around the world. They have multiple contracts, and so they serve a purpose of sending money. However, they are also going to be releasing something called smart contracts, which allows you to build an application securely on top of the Stellar network, which means it consumes more tokens, but it also creates projects for other use cases, right? While maintaining their fees relatively low. So the government prefers. What's cross-border payment mean? It means if I'm in the U.S. and I wanted to send money to Mexico, I can send money to Mexico for pennies on the dollar, and it would be like that. Snap of your finger, and the transaction is done. They have their money. Current banking systems, they don't have a direct connection to all the banks, right? So banks have partnerships. So let's say I wanted to send money to Mexico. Well, it may go to this bank, and then that bank goes to second bank, and that second bank goes to the third bank. And all the time that they're doing this, they have to confirm that the money is actually available and fully transferred before the person in Mexico may receive the money. So unless you pay higher fees, it could take up to 2 weeks in certain countries to receive your money, whereas Stellar would do it instantly. That's why they're the preferred currency of the government for that purpose. Now there's also XRP. They're designed to only be transactions between bank to bank, right? So they're the preferred token for banks, not necessarily that you can really submit payments between people to people, but it's more for banks to banks. So they're designed for higher transactions. There's Energy Web Token. EWT is a symbol. They're targeting the energy sector, right? So they're going to give you the ability to track how much carbon waste there is. They're going to be able to track how well a system can perform without consuming too much natural resources. They have the ability to control energy systems. So it's a very powerful token, and that one is another example of utility, right? They're not just for payments. They're designed for a specific sector to do something that nobody else does. The third kind of coin is meme tokens. Meme tokens are the highest volatility, highest risk coin out there. Why? Because they're based on something silly, right? Something that, like a joke, or somebody like Elon Musk, for example, will go and say, go buy Dogecoin. There's no real use case for Dogecoin. He says you can use it to buy Tesla. You can use it to buy this. But let's be honest, with transaction fees, that's like paying for a Tesla with a credit card and having to pay a high fee just to make the purchase that, so it's going to cost you more than your initial amount. Not unrealistic, right? So you got to be careful with meme coins. Now there are some ecosystem tokens that, now I like to call it ecosystem because It's like Shiba Inu token, for example. It started off as a meme coin. It was funny, based on the Shiba Inu dog, but they really converted it to more than a meme token, right? They have their own ecosystem where you can buy and purchase stuff. They can support NFTs. They can support purchases. They're going to support other things like building programs on top of them. They're supporting games, so you're going to be able to use your coins within a game. So high usability means that they create their own ecosystem within it. So just be careful not to confuse a meme coin with the actual ecosystem token that I like to call ecosystem tokens. The last one is non-fungible token, NFTs. You probably heard a lot about them. What they are is pretty much you can post a picture online of anything, and the person doesn't have to have anything associated with it. I'm going to take this example. I have a remote here that I use for my LED lighting. Let's say I took a picture of this remote. You can own a share of this remote here. You're never physically going to get it, but you can say that you own it. I'll even send you a picture of it. After I post it, I can accidentally lose this and burn it down or whatever, and it doesn't exist anymore, but you're still paying for a share of this remote. And that's kind of how it works. So it's very high volatility, and NFTs eventually will be something that you can purchase in the virtual world, like a metaverse, where you can buy something for your personal space or your house that nobody else has, whether it be a picture, animated, something on your wall. This is going to be big with video games. For example, there's a game called Guzzlers where you can buy parts for a car, you can race the car, and you can have an engine or a model of a car that nobody else has, and when you're done with it, you could sell it. If there's high demand for it, you may even get more than you paid for it, right? And so that's NFTs. Now, not to get back to the public ledger about cryptocurrencies, now that you understand the different types of cryptocurrencies that there are. Now, how does this public ledger get maintained? How do people know, or how is it maintained every transaction that is made? And, what makes it so secure? So there's something called crypto mining, right? So pretty much what crypto mining is, and I have other videos in my channel if you guys want to go back through it and look for it, how to make free XLM. That involves a setup tutorial on how to start mining cryptocurrency. So pretty much what you do is people with their gaming video cards, usually is the way that you do this, your GPU, you set this program to use a GPU, most of your memory on it, and it makes these complicated equations that is the public ledger. So when you make a transaction, somebody's actually processing that transaction on their computer, and every single computer that in the world that is mining is maintaining a record of these public ledgers. So what does this mean? So in order for you, when I make a transaction, let's say my own computer does the mining process, then that sends the information to another computer and another computer and another computer until all the computers are fully updated on the public ledger. What makes it more secure is that imagine trying to hack the public ledger to make it think that you own more cryptocurrency than you actually do. Why won't that work? Because the second you hack one computer and you try to make the public ledger in your favor, all the other computers are going to say, wait a minute, your computer doesn't match the millions of records everywhere else on the network, so we're going to shut that node down. And then this way, this node has to get restarted and reconfigured and cleaned out, and then they start fresh, right? But so that's why it's impossible. In order for you to change the public ledger and what the information it holds, you would have to change every public ledger on all these computers across the world and servers that some of them are secure, some are not, but you would have to do it simultaneously for this to work. It's just not going to happen. It's impossible. So that's why what mining is. You pretty much do these calculations when a person makes a purchase, and in return you get a small fee. Now, the more people that mine, the lower the fee is, the harder it is to actually get the reward. But you could still get it. And in my video, I show how I've gotten a couple hundred XLM tokens just by mining on my computer overnight or in my spare time. Now, just be warned that mining does take a toll on your computer, kind of like mileage on a car. But that's pretty much what mining is. So where do you buy cryptocurrency? So cryptocurrency can be purchased on many exchanges. Some cryptocurrency may be purchased on Robinhood, on some of these other stock exchange platforms, but I would be cautious using them because they've been known to do things where something rises too high, they disable the buy button, causing selling pressure, but that's a whole other a scandalous thing that you can do your own research on. My preference are exchanges like Kraken or Coinbase. There's a lot of big ones. The most important thing is you want them to be regulated and allowed by your state, because you do not want to go off to some fishy, marketplace to buy cryptocurrency that may be based out of some random island out on the other side of the world, because they may have no protection. And in the past, these exchanges have been hacked, and they've lost a lot of cryptocurrency for people because it was stolen. They hacked into their accounts, they sent it off to different wallets, and they lost all their cryptocurrency, millions of dollars worth of money. So you want to make sure that you go somewhere secure. Now the fees, it really depends, but my preference is Coinbase. Now why Coinbase over Kraken and some of the other ones is because I live in New York. In New York, they only allow certain companies that go through a certain process to allow them to participate with their state. So like I can't use Kraken because I live in New York. They haven't fully been, they haven't gone through the strict regulation of New York to be allowed to sell to New Yorkers. Crypto.com, you can't use it in New York. You can buy their token, but you can't use it in New York. So why do I choose Coinbase? It's number one reason it's allowed in New York. Second reason is they are very secure. The way they work is they have servers where you make the transactions, and every certain time of the day, they take all the information and they update a server that's offline, not connected to the internet. It's a cold storage. So it means it can't be hacked, because you would have to physically be there, have access to the building, and they usually keep track of who's allowed in there and who's not, with servers and all kinds of security. So for you to hack it online is nearly impossible, because they constantly update the data from different servers. So very secure, very good company, very quick. Almost never have any issues with them. So that Coinbase is one of my preferred places to purchase coins. Now, last, to end this video, which token should you buy? Do your research. I will not tell you to buy, sell, or hold. I just give you the facts and the details so that you guys can make your own informed decisions. And in reality, you should never invest in a token you do not understand. You should not invest in any company you do not understand. Do your research. Understand what the company's doing. Understand what their long-term goals are, short-term goals. Understand how their price works. If you strongly believe in a cryptocurrency, in a company, in a project, then that's the company that you should invest in. And I'll have other videos for buying strategies and selling strategies. So if you look at this chart that I have here, this looks small, but this is this went from $900, $1,000 up to $17,000, $19,000 almost. And it quickly dropped down. You don't want to buy it up here, because then you have to wait for this to come up and come down before you finally start seeing a profit. So understand the market, understand what you're buying, understand the company. If you do not understand, don't buy. I'd recommend investing in something that you do understand. So do your research, and so that you don't lose money. All right, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, really helps me out. But I hope you found this information, especially if you're new to the cryptocurrency market. All right, guys, I'll catch you in my next video.